all children want to please their parents. So that's a statement, and I want you guys to take a second and think whether or not you agree or you don't agree with that sentence that I just said. So, guys, in this video, I really want to make a difference in people's lives. And I feel like there's a part of my life that I reflectingly look back at, and I feel like it's not a good way or it's not a good choice that I spent my life doing those things. And looking back at it, now I've gained the insight of what I could have done better. And hopefully, to others, this would be a great video for them to learn from my own experiences. So the sentence, like I said earlier, is that it's about people pleasing other people. And it's quite common for many people, especially children, to want to please others because we've been brought up. I don't know if you agree to this, but a lot of times in many parenting situations, especially the old school parenting situations, children are brought up to be incentivized if they were to do things that their parents want or that their teachers want or even that society wants. Okay, it stems from childhood most of the time. And because they are incentivized, they are given messages of love. They're given those little actions that express love whenever the children do things that make their parents happy, then it becomes natural. They grow up wanting to please their parents even more in a way that is in the standard of their parents. But I know it's not true for all families, but it is common in many families. So, I will tell you guys why people pleasing or living your life to please others is not a good way to do so. And we have three main reasons for that. So, number one is, if it's okay, I have a little cheat sheet here just for me to not get lost with what I'm saying. But number one reason is that people pleasing is one of the main causes of emotional pain. So whenever you please others, you're not living your true essence. There's something that you want to do, but you're doing something else that are, fits other people's standards. And in a way, you're not living your own true essence, like I said, and that causes a lot of emotional pain. And you might not be aware of it. As a young person, you think to yourself, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. But sometimes you are unconscious that maybe just maybe, or at least in my case, I was conditioned to believing that this is what I wanted to do, when instead it wasn't what I wanted to do. I've been busy when I was younger listening to other people's opinions of what I should do. And growing up, I did that, I followed that, even though there had been hints from my higher self, from my higher intelligence, that this is not what I should be doing. Yet I didn't follow that hint. So it caused a lot of emotional pain. And that is the number one reason on the list why people pleasing is not good to begin with. Now, the second reason, although all these three reasons that I'm going to mention all tie into each other, okay? The second reason is that you will expect something in return, and it may not be reciprocated based on your own standard of what you should expect in return. So let me give you guys a little bit of a context right over here. When I was younger, I was kind of led to believe that I thought that I wanted to become a medical doctor when I was younger. And the reason why is my certain relatives, I don't know if I wanted to specifically talk about it, but certain relatives, especially the closest immediate family, kind of gave, expectations or hint that this is something that they want out of their relative, their grandchild, their daughter. So I'm actually being specific now. So growing up, I knew that that would make them happy. And I thought that it would make me happy as well. Okay? So when I was in high school, and all my focus and attention was to achieving that goal for me to become a medical doctor. Okay, so come high school, when I'm about to choose the college course that I will get into, I thought I wanted to become a medical doctor. So therefore, I took up a pre-medical 4-year course. Okay, that's what I had enlisted for in college. And to give you a little bit of more background, okay, I grew up in a kind of a broken family, as others would say, although I don't really consider that. It's broken family is only a reality looking back at it, but other people can think of that, okay? So I had subconsciously thought that if I were to do that, then my parents would get back together. I thought that maybe my mom would be back here living with us. And I thought that, I kind of imagined in my head a happy scenario of me living happily with both of my parents and my sibling. And they would be happy because I would be doing something that would make them happy. It's an exchange, right? I would be doing something that would make them happy, which at that time I thought would make myself happy. And in exchange, I thought that they would make me happy by me feeling that sense of belongingness when our family is complete. Okay. So this experience of mine, I was in college, my mom actually came back here and she said that she was going to live with us. But it ended up that, they didn't get along, so my mom didn't live with us. And I don't really hate her for that, but, you know, I only learned this lesson kind of too late. I didn't really process myself as a younger kid. But what happened was, come third or fourth year of my college, I ended up developing a lot of things that people don't want to experience. Things like depression and things like anxiety. And, I was in a biology course, right? So I had access to professors who were medical doctors, and she confirmed it that I had anxiety during that time. And all these things, depression, anxiety, these are the emotional pain that I was talking about earlier. And that's what I experienced. I experienced emotional pain from pleasing others. And you will eventually feel disappointed, like I said here. You will not feel good enough because the other person may not have reciprocated your action. So you feel as though there's something that you expect, right? Subconsciously, you may not be aware of it. Trust me, when I was in college, when I was younger, I wasn't aware of all these behavior. This was all subconscious. Okay, but subconsciously you expect a certain action to be reciprocated, and then when that isn't reciprocated, you will end up, or like in my case, I ended up blaming myself. I ended up, in a way, kind of hurt because I felt like I wasn't good enough for them to, be together in a way. So, it's just a big mess. It's just a really big mess for anyone to get into. Okay. And it will leave you feeling as if the person owes you something. Okay, so that's one thing. You will feel like you will be mad for yourself that they didn't reciprocate, and then you will also feel as if the person owes you something growing up, and you will feel, or in my case, I felt resentment. Okay, I felt resentment because I felt like she owes me this. I'm entitled to this because I did this for her. And to give you guys an honest, story or context of my life, um, first year college, I knew that I didn't want to take up the pre medical course that I took. First year, first semester, I realized I didn't like this course and I wanted to shift somewhere else. And it was so good that my dad, he allowed me to shift to something that I thought I liked, which is culinary arts. So I'm kind of still fortunate that my dad, our family had the money to, explore. Okay, but when I finished the 4 months of culinary arts, my mom, she talked to me and she said that maybe you just don't like the current subjects you're in, but maybe when you're in second year, you might like biology still. So it just became my goal to continue and graduate from that course, even though I knew within myself and I told my parents that I didn't like that course during the first year, first semester. Okay, so I knew, however, I didn't follow myself. Okay, but it was still fine. I still didn't know really what I wanted to shift into, to be honest. But it's something that I think I may have discovered in my second and third year of college. However, I still did not listen to myself. I wasn't living my authentic self. That is the third reason actually in my list of why you shouldn't please others. You will be spending your time not doing something that isn't authentic to you. So I finished, biology, right? And to be honest, what are the jobs of being a biology? So it's either I go to med school, it's either I become a researcher, it's either I work in a laboratory, or it's either that I work as a professor, or I work as a quality assurance for maybe companies who make food products or any biological products. So those are my options. However, I knew it was so obvious. I was in fourth year of my college experience, and I really hated being in the laboratory. I hated it in first year, looking at slides of, tissues of organisms. And I hated it in fourth year when we had to go to the lab and culture bacteria. I hated every smell of it. I hated the procedure. I hated that it made me nauseous while I was in the laboratory. And yet, I didn't listen to myself. I didn't listen to myself. Wanting to please your parents, you listen to them, let your inner voices drown, and you stop honoring yourself. You stop honoring your true, authentic self because of that. So, those are the three main reasons why people pleasing should be stopped. Why, not me to stop you from people pleasing, but why you should stop people pleasing, because it's not really you living your authentic self. when, when I was younger, I know within myself, I was less than 10 years old. I know I wanted to become a professional athlete as well. There are two things I'm passionate about, you know, tennis, my sport, and number two, I guess, justice. That's what I was passionate about. I'm not a perfect person, I know, but those are the things that I was passionate about. Yet I didn't listen. I always gave myself reasons why I couldn't become a professional athlete and why I couldn't be in a position or a profession that would help ensue justice. Okay, so that's a lesson in my life. I'm wasted so much time in my life, and I just choose to think or to kind of look at it that I didn't waste my life, that I learned certain lessons for doing those things, for spending 4 years of my life studying something that I really didn't want. Like, I thought I wanted it in the beginning, going into it. No one forced me. But when I was in it, I knew that I didn't want it, yet um, I still didn't listen to myself. So, I hope you guys who are listening here, I hope you guys don't make the same mistakes that I do, because as one of my favorite speakers say, we're intelligent as human beings. We don't have to make the same mistakes as others. People say that you learn by making your own mistake. However, like my favorite speaker says, it's more intelligent to learn from other people's mistake. And I know I'm here being vulnerable to you guys, telling you guys my story about my life, and it's very personal. And it's personal for a reason. And the reason is that you would be living your most authentic self, and that will make you a much happier person, and the world will be much of a better place if we are full of people who are making a big difference in this world. So I hope this video strikes deep into your heart, and I hope you guys learn from my mistakes, and I hope this video has made a difference. So please do like this video, please share this video to the people who you think will most benefit from watching this video, And do subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.